Hello and welcome to The Voluntarist. So Dude Person on Reddit asked, "Hey guys, how's it going? I've got another question today, this time with regard to order in society. As you will probably know, in Charlotte, North Carolina, massive rioting has been occurring for a few days now, with seemingly no end in sight in the short term. This led me to wonder, how would a free society respond to rioting in an urban area or geographical location? I know businesses would probably have the private defense companies come to defend their property, but my guess is that the rioters and protesters would not be directly confronted. In today's world, however, police are in active confrontation with protesters, seemingly agitating them in some cases. What would the right response to a situation like this one be? Would a free society manage it better?" So essentially, the way I responded to this was I said the way this would most likely be handled in a free society, because we don't know how it would be handled in a free society, because it would be really just between the property owners and the rioters, which would presumably be trespassing, but that depends on if the owner's okay with them being there or not. So I said, in a free society, most likely, the protesters would probably just have a boycott of the defense agency that killed the unarmed civilian. Nobody wants to continue funding that kind of incompetence. But we can empathize with those protesters because they're rioters. Have you seen the footage? They're rioters. They're not really protesters. They're really freaking pissed off. And there's probably a few of them just looking for an excuse to go break some stuff. But, I mean, some unarmed guy getting shot, that's a reason to get upset, if there ever was one. Nobody wants to continue funding that kind of incompetence. But we can empathize with those rioters because they are being forced to continue paying those police officers with the money that is stolen from them by the government. And there is no other firm legally permitted to provide the level of protection that the police are supposed to provide. Then I go on to say, also, if everything is privately owned, they would probably all be trespassing. And if they didn't leave when asked, it could get violent. So the long and the short of it is, there probably wouldn't be many protests, to be honest. They would have to make their grievances known in a much less obstructive and more tactful way. Then as far as the right response, I have no idea. No one can. The way to respond to this would have to be determined by the individual property owners that were having their property rights obstructed by the trespassers. Hopefully they could come to some kind of peaceful resolution. I have trouble believing that this kind of situation on this scale, because there are a lot of people out in Charlotte right now. And if you actually go and watch the footage, there's a lot of people. There's police out there in riot gear. There's like the smoke bomb things, tear gas. There's fire. I don't think I actually saw any looting, but I mean it was like full on riot mode out there. People are really, really upset. They haven't released the body cam footage to my knowledge yet. So no one really knows what happened. So I think it's pretty safe to say that all of these rioters are kind of jumping the gun a little bit. They're out in the streets before any evidence has really come out. So, first off, shame on them for not waiting for some evidence. Second off, is disrupting commerce in the city really the best way to get back at the police? I mean, you're actually making the police more relevant. You're making people want to have police around more, because you're out causing trouble and breaking crap all over the place. So what are you actually accomplishing by going out and rioting and protesting and doing crap like this? You're making your enemy more relevant to society. Congratulations. You have completely failed in every conceivable way because you did not think this through. And, that's frustrating to someone like me who wants to see the government monopoly on protection, otherwise known as the police, become less and less relevant and more open to private security and self-defense and gun rights and stuff like that. So when you go out here and you make the people that you despise for various reasons, that's up to you as an individual, and you make the people that you as an individual despise more relevant to everyone else that you're scaring, everyone else whose property you're destroying, I mean, you're making them more powerful. And that's the opposite of what you should be doing. So think about how much worse you've now made things by going out into the streets and throwing stuff and scaring the crap out of people. And that point's been made many, many times before. This is nothing new. It's just the first time I've talked about it. It's just frustrating to watch. So as far as the right way to handle this, back to the original question, I don't know. I just don't think that situations like this would be that common in a free society, because people would be well aware that everything is privately owned, and with strong property rights, if you're on someone's property, they're probably going to be armed in a free society, and if you don't leave, they will be more inclined to threaten you and continue threatening you with increasing force until either they have to implement force or you leave the property. Hopefully you can talk it out, because in a civilized society, you can't just shoot someone for stepping foot on your property. You have to approach them. You have to ask them, hey, what are you doing here? I don't want you on my property. Get off. And if you go to court and say, this guy put his big toe across my property line, so I blew his head off, that's not going to fly, because that's totally unreasonable, and any sane person can see that. So yeah, in a free society, I think the way that we think about rioting now just would totally be different. And it's kind of difficult to get into that mindset, and just making this video has made me realize that I think it would be a good idea to just go and kind of think about this for a few days and really try to wrap my head around it, maybe praxeologically. Just like good old Rothbard. Hey, I know some people out there probably can't stand Rothbard. I think he's pretty cool. But that is a debate for another time, because that is totally off subject. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, thought it was informative, or at the very least entertaining, please hit the like button and comment in the comment section. If you have anything to comment. It's like 2 a.m., so please bear with my extremely dry, non-humorous sense of humor. Thanks one more time for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.